So I'm over here on Green Springs Road. I think that's what it is. And I'm actually at the part of Green Springs Road that is my very favorite, especially in the fall, because of the way that the trees line the road and it's so pretty and so quiet out here. Anyway, this is Angie with movingtowilliamsburg.com, and let's explore the neighborhoods on Green Springs Road. Okay, so I'm going to start with Berkeley's Green, which is actually a personal favorite of mine. I may be a little bit biased because this is the neighborhood that my family moved into when we first got to Williamsburg several years ago, but I do love the entrance and they do a really good job of the landscaping over here. But anyway, this is the entrance to Berkeley's Green. Behind us, the other direction, is Fieldcrest. So that's your point of reference for these two neighborhoods and how they interact. All right, let me find some more things to tell you about Berkeley's Green. Okay, so while I am getting back to my car, I thought maybe I'd share my personal experience of the day that my family decided that this was the neighborhood we were going to buy a home in. This is back in 2014. It was actually Mother's Day, so it was in May. Right now, when I'm making this video, it's April of 2020. So it feels like it's getting close to that time. We were driving through neighborhoods. We hadn't got to the point yet where we had an agent, and we were just coming down to Williamsburg from Northern Virginia, seemed like every weekend, trying to figure out just like the lay of the land and what we could learn about Williamsburg and what neighborhoods we might like and what schools we might like for our kids. So we drove through Berkeley's Green, and like I said, it was Mother's Day, which is a Sunday, and the streets were full of kids, like bursting with kids playing catch in the yard, mowing the grass, riding their bikes with their families. I'll show you up here in just a second where the playground is, which we had no problem finding because there were like masses of bikes and scooters piled along the curb right by the park. And so like, oh, well, there's where all the kids are. And like, hi guys! Hey, say hi! Okay, I'm over here at the Berkeley's Green clubhouse, common areas. They've got this cute little clubhouse here. Little pond with a fountain that always has ducks and fish. There's always little groups of boys over here catching and releasing little tiny fish, which is super fun. But I wanted to show you something that's really unique about Berkeley's Green, and that is the community and all that they do for each other here and how thoughtful they are to make sure that it's a fun community for everybody here, especially the kids. Now, there are a lot of retired people actually in Berkeley's Green, but there's also a ton of kids. And it's kind of like this unwritten community rule that if you are a retired person in Berkeley's Green, you cannot complain about the kids playing basketball, riding their bikes, and everything else that the neighborhood does with and for the kids, because it's really the strength of the neighborhood over here. So this is the clubhouse, and what I'm showing you is that they, during quarantine time, have put on an art show. They've turned the clubhouse into an art museum, and they asked the kids in the neighborhood who wanted to participate to submit their artwork, and they put them on display in the windows of the clubhouse, which is cool. Let me see if I can get you a view inside the little clubhouse. Looks like they've updated the table and chairs since I was last in here. There's a little kitchen, bathroom. And from my recall, I'm sure they will change this at some point, but it was free to rent the clubhouse if you were a resident. You have to put down a safety deposit, a cleaning deposit, but it's free to use for family events. So the pool here is kind of small. It's actually quite small for compared to some of the other neighborhoods in Williamsburg. They do not have a swim team, but they have a kiddie pool, and across there you can see the playground. A lot of the families here will actually join the first colony swim team, which is just over the river and through the woods on the other side. Tennis courts over there, and I'll show you the playground on the sport courts. While I'm walking over to the playground and the sport court, I wanted to just say a little thing about Berkeley's Green. Houses actually sell here really fast. And I think it's because of the reputation and maybe the schools here. But a lot of times houses will sell by word of mouth between neighbors who know someone who wants to move in, or they'll sell within 1 day or 1 week of going on the market. Just this week, a house went on the market back that way, and the agent only had one picture to put up in the listing on the morning that it went active in the MLS. And I texted her because I have a client who is looking for homes in this price point, and it came up on her automatic email. So I texted the agent and said, I have a client who would like to see this property. Can you let me know when you put up the rest of the pictures? She said, oh yeah, I'm trying to get them up. We had them taken this morning. She texted me a few hours later, and she already had an offer on the house. One picture on the MLS, already had an offer and had several showings scheduled. So that's Berkeley's Green. If you would like to get into Berkeley's Green as a buyer, you might want to know someone on the inside to help, put their ear to the ground and know what's coming up. Happens to be that's me. Since I used to live here, I am still on the Facebook group that they only allow residents and past residents to be in. So I'll hook you up. All right, here's the playground. Okay. Clubhouse and pool. And here is the playground equipment. Through there, they have a sport court. There's always kids and grown people too, shooting hoops over there. And then they've got this nice tennis court. One side has been refinished, and the other hasn't been done yet. Now, one thing I want to talk to you about, but you won't be able to really see. So that's the main road going through Berkeley's Green. There's 4 branches that come off that main road, 2 at the front and 2 at the back. But just this winter, the members, the neighborhood, cleared a path through there that goes all the way through the Capitol Trail. Because in the past, if you wanted to get to the Capitol Trail from Berkeley's Green, you had to cut across Green Springs Road, which is kind of a dangerous, busy intersection. So now you can get to the Capitol Trail through the trail that literally the neighbors did by themselves, like on a weekend project. So that's cool. The other thing is, there's actually a trailhead right there that runs behind the neighborhood and goes back there, and it goes all the way through the woods of the neighborhood and pops out at First Colony's common area. So this trail connects Berkeley's Green and First Colony, and it's only like a footpath or a bike path, and it's really not well known. No one is back there except for residents of these neighborhoods. But that's a fun trail for families. And the other cool thing about that trail is it is a tradition that at Halloween time, the neighborhood gets together. A large portion of the neighborhood has a tradition of creating a haunted trail back there, and it's like this homemade project, but it's pretty cool. And they spend a lot of time spooking it out back there, and a bunch of high school kids volunteer, and they've turned it into a fundraiser of sorts. I think that they take donations through one of the high school groups for a charity. I don't know much more about it. But the first 45 minutes of the haunted trail is not so scary, so that kids can go through And then after that, they warn people that it's fully scary so that it's not too terrifying for someone who didn't realize it was going to be spooky, you know. But that's a really fun Halloween tradition out here at Berkeley's Green. Okay, fine. I have to make one more video about Berkeley's Green community. It's only a few days past Easter right now, and I should have come on Sunday morning, on Easter morning, and taken a video. But another really unique tradition about this neighborhood is that they have a group of residents who have made like this big metal stamp, like this chunk, 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 that they put like wheat flour, baking flour in, and I can see it. Hold on. I just noticed that the trail, the bunny rabbit trail, is still here because it actually rained on Monday morning, which turned the bunny rabbit flour footprints into like clay, right? Flour and water. So they go around on Saturday night before Easter with a big wagon, and they stamp bunny trail footprints, so that in the morning when the kids wake up, the bunny trail footprints actually will go right up to the front porch of a house that has kids and then back out to the street. No joke. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can make a video just to show some frontage of some of the homes in Green, to show you the style of homes, the age. Houses in this neighborhood will sell anywhere from the low end, I want to say like $275, $285 for a house that needs some work, all the way up to $360, $365. I have to look and see if I've seen anything go for $370 or $375. But as you can tell, it's a really moderate price point. Okay, so we're coming into the Wood Lake section of Berkeley's Green. This is the section that was built last, so the homes are newer than the other sections. And back here you will also find homes that are the largest out of Berkeley's Green. So I don't know if I can get good footage through my windshield, but you see a little larger back in here, a little newer, but nothing in Berkeley's Green is brand new. I actually think it's nice to be in a neighborhood that's about this age. The homes in here were built somewhere between like 1990 and 2000. And hopefully your assumption can be that all the major things in the homes of this age have expired and been rebuilt, redone, right? So probably got a new roof by now. This neighborhood did have Quest plumbing when it was built, and most of the homes in here have replaced that by now because it ended up being faulty plumbing and causing a lot of leaks, a lot of damage. So most homes have replaced that. And if you're shopping in Berkeley's Green, that's absolutely something I would encourage you to ask the sellers, is whether or not they have Quest piping, because that will be an issue. Anyway, isn't it pretty? It's gorgeous. So that wraps up my Berkeley's Green video. Sorry it's so long. I doubt I'll have another video that's that long, but I really love it in here. So if you'd like to be in this section of Williamsburg down by Jamestown, but you can't seem to find what you're looking for in Berkeley's Green, then take a look at the other neighborhoods nearby, which would be Fieldcrest, Green Springs West, Green Springs Plantation, Deer Run, and then there's another one down the street. I can never remember the name of that one, but look for my other videos for the neighborhoods off of Green Springs. Bye!